Welcome to Charts Africa TV. In today's video, Nigerian singer Davido talks to Anas Bukhash about his family, music career, childhood, fame, money, and fears as a musician. The singer also made it known that he has another son called Dawson. Davido also said he is afraid of falling off as a musician after being on top for more than a decade. Let's watch the video, and please comment, like, and subscribe to Charts Africa TV.
So my first question is always the same. It's how are you really doing?
How are you really doing? I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? It's been a crazy year. My album is out. I worked very hard on it. And I'm happy that, the album is being accepted, critically acclaimed. You know what I'm saying? So really, really deep down, I'm happy because, I love music. Music is my life. So anytime I drop music and it's been accepted, I'm always, happy because it's been a long road, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're here. So if you ask me how I'm really doing, at this point in time, I'm happy.
How much out of 10?
8. So do you rate it?
And what can make it a 8.5?
What can make it 10, you mean?
10 if there's 10.
I mean, I feel like everything is a process. You know what I'm saying? Like months ago, I was a 0 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely with the album doing so well, you know what I'm saying? It's giving me some type of, relief, about life and anything. But I feel like it will reach there. I feel like we're still working. I'm going on tour. Do you understand? I feel like eventually we'll be 10 over 10, but we're in a good space, very good space.
I'm not going to talk about what takes you to 0 because it's private.
Yeah.
But how does somebody who reaches 0, anybody even watching, how do you go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Just like how you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it takes time. Do you understand? Every day, I feel like every day, like, you get to a point where you're like, I'm never going to get out of this state. But honestly, when they say time heals, time heals. So obviously it takes time. Like you just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously like every day I was, kind of getting better. So it takes time, you know what I'm saying? Some people it takes longer, so some people it takes shorter. But the end goal is to smile at the end of the day. So it takes time. Time heals for real. And
if I asked you, David, who are you?
Who am I? I'm a special human being. I'm a special person.
You're a special person. Yes. Okay, explain.
Very special. VSOP. But I've never met nobody like me. People that I meet have never met nobody like me. And just like even when I was like young, like even before the music, before I even blew up, I used to always tell myself, I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be huge. Trust me. They're gonna love me all over the world. Every race is going to sing my music. That's what I was telling myself. And it came off as cocky, kind of, overconfident. But then I always had that mindset. So even when I dropped my first song, like me and my boys, we used to go to the club acting like we're superstars, even when we wasn't. Like we already had that vibe. Like we're walking in, the whole gang, we're in the club popping bottles, you know what I'm saying? They're like, who's this young guy? So I always used to tell them, yo, I'm going to be one of the biggest superstars in the world one day. Ta-da! It happened. Because of not only God, you know what I'm saying, but I was confident and I knew I was different. Like I knew I was different. Since I was in high school, elementary school, I always stood out in class. Whether I was getting in trouble, whether I was doing good, I always just stood out. So I was kind of, knew.
Because you brought up childhood, how was your childhood if I go back?
I'm the last child of 5 kids. I've always been the youngest person around. Everybody was always older, you know what I'm saying? So imagine living in a house. Well, my sister, my older brother is like 6 years older than me. So I was really, really young. So I grew up really fast. I was going to the club at 13, 14, like nightclub. 14, 15, following my sisters, following my brother. Big family, very big family. I lived in a household where it was like my siblings, But most of my siblings, they schooled in London and America. I was the only one that my parents wanted to live in Nigeria. So I stayed with my parents in Nigeria. And then I had, like, my family is so big, cousins, aunties, and you know, my dad has this big house, so we're all in the house. And so that's where, you know, I really started. My mom loved music. My mom, anything to throw a party, she would throw. So from there, you know, doing the parties, the music, then from there, that's when I started like liking entertainment a little bit. So it wasn't a thing of like from young, I wanted to be a musician, no. I kind of just like fell into it. So yeah, so that's when I really started like liking entertainment. From like mom throwing parties, stuff like that.
Do you think pain gets less or you get used to it?
Funny, I don't know. I think it's like in the middle. You understand? I don't think it gets less, but like months ago, like I told you, time heals. Months ago, I didn't ever even think that I would be able to do an interview. I didn't ever think I would be able to hold a microphone or get on stage. So, you know, with time, you know, it was better, but I feel like the pain, it depends on the person. Like I said, everybody is different. Some people take months, some people take days, some people take years. You know what I'm saying? Just even having to pick the album songs, having to do all this promo, like to me, this is therapy. Do you understand? This is, you know what I'm saying? Just work in general. You know what I'm saying? But I love my job. I'm obsessed with my job. So my job, definitely getting back to work was one of the things that, you know, helped me, you know, get back in a better space. You feel me?
I'll tell you something I said to a few guests, and this is what I believe.
Yeah.
I believe David and me and Anas and everybody here, we have journeys that have good times and bad times, trauma, sadness, heartbreak, love, right? And I think all of these bad, tough situations, I believe they create a very poisonous fuel. It's like a poison inside you.
Yeah.
But when you have a fuel, if you burn it, you can have power and energy and an engine.
Sure.
If you don't burn the poisonous fuel, it makes you sick and you're depressed or miserable. And what you just said 5 minutes ago, you said, Anas, I channel all of what I've gone through
To my work.
to my work, and which makes your work so special. And nobody has that fuel other than you, because it's David's fuel. It's your journey. So if you use that poisonous fuel, either you let it consume you and you're a miserable man.
Trust me, I got in the gym, like even like health-wise, like even eating, like me and my wife even changed our diets, like, you know what I'm saying? Like life, we look at it different, you know what I'm saying? So even got to the gym, you know, like I did a show 4 days ago. I did 2 hours, 30 minutes on stage.
Wow.
Normally I'd be like, water. But like, it was crazy. I didn't drink water the whole 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So apart from that, even like health-wise, you know what I'm saying, the journey has been quite pleasurable.
Is it true, David, that your dad, because he didn't agree so much with your music career in the beginning, he used to call the police to arrest you and your
He
friends?
didn't call the police, he sent the police.
Because he wanted you to focus on school?
You know, my family, like I told you, I'm the last child of 5 kids. And then my dad is very successful. So the normal thing is you go to school, after you go to school, you graduate, then you go and work for dad. You have your office there, you know, normal rich kid vibes. But my own vibe was just different. I didn't want to go that route. So at first, he sent me to school. I went to a Christian school in Alabama, far away. And then like, I used to come to Nigeria for like Christmases, December, every December I'll go back to Nigeria. So there was one December, and then I was doing music on the side, but my dad didn't know. Like I kept this from him, everything. I was really, really shy about my music too. You know what I'm saying? Like even just playing it for people, I want to know your reaction. Like, do you like it or do you understand? So I never really played my siblings or my family my music till like I blew up. So I would come every December to Nigeria. So I came one December, and then this time all the like Nigerian artists that were big at that time, they started like coming up, like making money. I told my dad, I was like, oh dad, I want to move back to Nigeria. I want to do music. He's like, no. So he sent me back to school. And then when I went back to school, I dropped out. So I was in school. My dad thought I was in school for a year and I wasn't. Like, chilling. So I had a studio. I bought like a studio, some studio equipment. You know, I started off as a producer, not an artist. So I'd like, you know, be producing, you know, I learned producing off YouTube, how to work my way through all the apps, like off YouTube. So I'll go to Nigeria, record all these artists. So one day my cousin came to me. So for example, let's say we're in the studio and we're writing a song and you go and record and I'm like, yo, sing it this way. Or change this to that, or sing it, you know what I'm saying? So then we started realizing that I'm actually an artist because I was doing it better than anybody I was producing. I sounded better, the feeling was better, you know what I'm saying? So my cousin was like, yo, why don't you just do a song? I was like, okay. So I recorded my first song that I recorded, blew up in Nigeria. So from then, that's how like the artistic. So yeah, so I blew up. So my dad, you know, remember I told you that I told him that I wanted to move back. Then he disagreed. So I ended up dropping out. He found out that I was in school for like a year. I broke into his house in Atlanta. I sold all the TVs, sold his furniture. I almost sold his Rolls Royce because I was like, yo, I want to do the music. But he didn't want me to. So I was like, you know what? I'm just about to act crazy until you let me. So the deal was, so he finally caught up to me. I flew into Nigeria, and the army picked me up on the plane like this and took me straight to my father. So he was like, where have you been? Where have you been? I was like, I want to do music. I do not want to go to school. You can't force me to. He was like, okay, let's have a deal. I said, okay. Now you're talking business. So he said he will invest in my music career. He will build me a world-class studio, but I have to go to school like, okay, so if I go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll stay that weekend and do another week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I can go to the city every other weekend to do the music. So I was like, okay, he's gonna build me a studio. So I calculated it as, okay, I'm gonna take the money, he's gonna build a studio. I'm going to school for like 2 months. And then when I shoot the video and blow up, I'm gonna run away again. So he shot me like, at that time, like in Nigeria, like the most expensive music video. That's how I kind of like got into the industry. And people like knew that my dad had money and stuff like that. So he finally shot me the video. Then I shot the video and then dropped it. And then I remember I went to school because I had to go back after the weekend. So my friend calls me. He's like, I said, what is happening? What is happening in the city? He said, bros, your song is going crazy. I said, eh? He said, all the girls are going crazy to your song. I'm in school, like going crazy, like how am I going to escape again? So like over time, like, and I dropped another song. This one scattered everywhere. So I was so, like, I couldn't even stay in school. Like I couldn't even stay in class. Like students were being distracted because I was famous, you feel me? So that's when I ran away again. So this time, so imagine my dad like seeing me on billboards and shows, you know what I'm saying, headlining, and then he would send the police, send the army. If you're a fan, if you're a Davido fan, if you buy tickets to my show, they'll arrest you. It was crazy.
Wow.
So police came like twice, and they started messing up my business because everybody was scared to book me. Because if you book Davido, there will be police at your show. So, and I made a song called Davido. Emma Davido in my language means you cannot stop me. So the lyrics of the song is basically said, Emma Davido, Emi Omo Baba Olo, means it means you cannot stop me. I'm the son of a rich man, but this is what I like. That's kind of the vibe. So I dropped that song, and the president of the country, that was his best song. So I was like, oh, I got the president on my back now. Like the police is sending to arrest me. Became fans. So they'll come and arrest me. They'll be like, Davido? No. So it got too big for him to control. So eventually, like, we, found out a way. Because my dad, I don't care if you be as big as Joe Biden. if you don't have education, my daddy will not respect you. That's him. He's a school guy. You know what I'm saying? So whether I bring home 20 Grammys or 50 Grammys, that's not what he's looking for. Did you go to school? So we found a way. I got my degree eventually because I had to do like part-time school stuff. So I eventually got the degree 2015. And then he just let me be. But yeah, he was crazy. But now he's like the biggest fan. Like he loves my job.
That's a good story, man.
It's crazy.
So why do you do what you do?
Because I don't need to, basically. I don't know. I'm in love with music. I'm in love with you know, just growing up. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I basically had everything handed to me on a silver spoon. Do you understand? But that's what gives me like vim to work.
But that's my question. Like, if you had a comfortable life,
Yeah.
you could have just been another family employee in your family business.
Yeah, but
That's the easy way.
I love music. I told you from the love was growing and growing. For me to run away, I was sleeping on, I had bed bugs biting me just because I didn't want to go home. I was sleeping in studios, 15, 16, sleeping in studios, homeless. But the rule is if I go to the house, I have to go to school. So that shows you alone how much I loved like the craft. I just wanted to be a musician so bad. So that's basically how
Is the music industry difficult, tough?
Yes. Mentally, physically, financially. Especially now where it's just like the dynamics of music promotion now and when I started is way different. For example, for this album, we had to plan almost 6 months ahead. Before, all I had to do is go on Twitter or Instagram, post my song, post the link, iTunes or whatever, it's blown. The next day, but now, see how many apps. You have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have Boomplay, you have blah, blah, blah. So it's just like the dynamics of music making now is crazy. So you can drop a song and then if you don't have any challenge or a dance on TikTok, how's the song gonna chart? You know what I'm saying? So the dynamics is different. I say it's more difficult. It's more difficult, but especially for African music, the more difficult it gets, the more lucrative the business is. So the harder it gets, but I'm starting like making a lot of money.
Do you like fame?
I'll lie to you if I say no. I mean, it has its good parts and its bad parts. Like, obviously, like, I kind of get anything I want, you know what I'm saying, with this face like this. Smile. But it gets stressful too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the private side of my life, do you understand? Like, it affects it, you know what I'm saying? Imagine having to, like, my dad would just send me something on the blog. Oh, what's this? I'm like, Dad, it's a lie. Don't worry about that. So, and then even like things I do affect my family. You know what I'm saying? Anything I do as Davido will affect my family. Just like my sisters had to move her kids out of like sub school because everybody in school knew that, oh, these Davido's nephew and they were giving them like, it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of weird. So she didn't want anybody to know that, oh. So now they're new school. She told them, when you guys go to school, don't tell anybody Uncle David is your uncle. Then the last one, she was like, oops. She said, what'd you do? He said, I kind of told somebody. So, you know, that aspect. And even my children, my daughters, my daughter was even getting bullied in school just because she was Davido's, daughter. So it has its good sides.
Is Davido the same person as David?
Kind of, though. Kind of. The only difference is like maybe when I'm on stage, but like I'm basically like the same person all around. Yeah.
Generally, do you have trust issues?
With what? Women or?
Generally, because you're in
I mean,
you became famous.
Okay, I would say I don't have trust issues, but I don't get surprised by it. Like when I get like betrayed or something, it doesn't shock me.
Anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me. I also have like if you come into my life and I generally see you're cool, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So I'll trust you in some kind of way. I won't put my life in your hand, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Before I have trust issues with anybody, you have to show me that you're this kind of person. But I kind of read people too. I can read you. If I spend a day with you, I already know the kind of person you are.
How is your relationship with money?
If you give me, bro, if you give me $1 million cash, I can give everything out before 9 p.m. tonight. So I have obviously, like my dad advises me financially. You know what I'm saying? He helps a lot with that. But I would like to, I'm not really good with cash because but I've done well for myself. We've saved a lot of money. We'll live good for a long time.
Yes, why not? I have a cool test, but I need your imagination.
Okay.
It's a cool question, but you need to close your eyes and imagine with me. Okay. So I want you to imagine empty desert.
Okay.
You're in Dubai, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Empty, but nothing is inside this desert. And then suddenly, David, you see a cube. Can you describe the cube that you're seeing?
A cube, like a box?
Like a cube, yeah. Do you see it big, small? How does it look like?
Medium.
Medium. Bigger than you?
Like half my size.
Half your size. What is it? Is it transparent? You can see through, or it's solid?
It's solid.
What is it made of?
Huh?
What is it made of?
It's like cardboard, it's like a wood.
Okay. Is it on the desert, inside, floating, flying?
Just on the desert, the sand.
Okay. After the cube, you see a ladder. Where did the ladder appear?
On my left, I guess.
Where is it in accordance with the cube? Is it on the cube, away from the cube?
It's away from the cube.
Is it standing?
Yes, it's like up.
Is it taller?
It's like a, you know those ones?
Yeah. Is it taller than the cube?
Yes.
Is it more than 12 steps?
No, like 6.
Is it new or old?
Fairly used.
Fairly used. Okay, after the ladder, you see a horse. Describe the horse.
Brown.
Okay, and?
Brown, big, just like a racehorse.
Is it standing? Is it running?
It's standard. It's just
Where?
standard. It's just right there.
Next to the cube, next to the ladder?
Next to the ladder.
Next to the ladder. Okay. After the horse, you see flowers. Where are the flowers?
On the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Where?
Next to the cube.
Next to the cube. A lot of flowers or a few?
Just a bouquet.
Bouquet. Is it in good health?
Yellow flowers.
Good health or wilting?
Good health.
Good health. Okay. And after the flowers, you see a storm. Describe the storm.
Like a storm? Like it's about to rain?
It could be rain, sand, whatever. What kind of storm and where is it?
It'll be rain.
Where is it?
In the desert, it's coming, like it's up.
It's far or close?
I can see it coming, so it's like far.
Okay, so it's coming towards what?
Towards me.
Which is what? The cube, the ladder,
The
the
cube,
horse?
ladder, left, flowers.
Is it affecting anything?
No.
No. He's sleepy. You
Yeah, because you have me closing my eyes.
Okay, so this, you can open your eyes.
Okay. Yeah, you have me.
So, so this is a psychological test.
Okay.
And it's done by a Japanese scientist under a study called cocology.
Okay.
And the cool thing about this is that it gets into your subconscious mind. So when I'm asking you, you don't know what exactly you're answering, but now I'll explain.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. David. So the cube is you, which is the sense of self or your ego. And you said it's quite small, it's half your size. So you're introverted, you're shy, you're modest, you're quiet, and you blend in. And usually, a medium size, which I would assume is a medium size, because you didn't say it's this small, it's between being bold, confident, and wanting to be seen, and an introvert and shy and modest, and quiet. So you're probably somewhere in between that. If it's standing on the sand, which you said, it's stable, knows what they want from life and intend to get it. Logical and precise.
That's me.
Okay. The ladder is your family and your friends.
Wow.
If it's higher than the cube, that means you value your friends and family highly and you depend on them. If it's only less than 12 steps, it's you prefer having a handful of friends, not two.
I said 6 steps, but I have a lot of friends.
Yeah, no, but there's a difference between acquaintance and a friend.
Okay, true.
You know what I mean? Okay, and then you said it's fairly new, so, or fairly, you said
Fairly used.
Fairly used. So known your friends for a long time or you know each other well. Okay, and you said it's not on the, it's not touching the cube, it's close to the cube.
Yeah.
So you usually resolve your problems without the help of your family and friends. You try to do things on your own and fix it.
It's true.
The horse is your ideal partner.
Like my wife or something?
Yeah. So you said the horse is close to the ladder. The ladder is your family and friends.
Wow.
And you said it's a brown horse and it's big, so it's strong and it's bold. Sturdy working, yeah. Glamorous prancing horse. So yeah, it's between you can depend on them and they're very reliable and you value their outward appearance and you want someone that people also approve of, like your family and friends. Okay. And then the flowers. The flowers is your children. And you said
I
something.
said strong bouquet.
And you said something nice. You said the flowers are next to the cube, which means close to you. You know? Near the cube shows you wish for a close relationship with your children. And you said a vibrant, healthy, so reflects the health and prosperity of your children as well as your relationship with them. And the storm is your fear, stress, and anxiety. And you said it's far on the horizon. So you are at a more peaceful inner place, which you are now compared to before. However, the closer the storm, the closer the immediate threat. And if it does come but doesn't affect the items that you mentioned, you consider the threat manageable and you have confidence to resolve them. That's it.
AB talks.
Pretty cool, huh?
Now that I think about it, it's deep. It's really deep.
It is, yeah.
You said a Japanese guy?
Yeah, Japanese scientist.
Wow, it's crazy.
You want to do the AB Talks card game question? Before I but before I ask that, I want to ask you this. What does love mean to you?
Love. It depends. I don't know.
In your experience.
And for me, it just, I feel like there's this love, like if that person is not happy, I'm not happy. To me, that is love. For me, if I go to bed now, I'm sleeping, like, I'm thinking about this person, though. I can't sleep. I have to make sure they're okay. That's love to me. You know what I'm saying? To me, I don't feel like love is something that's, you know how you can know somebody for like 20 years? I've known you for so long. I love you. I feel like you can meet somebody in 1 month and love can come out of nowhere. Just because, you know, I feel like it's something that is natural. It's something that cannot be bought. And love, if your love is fake, it will always, the truth will always come out. Do you understand? So real love will always last forever, no matter the situation. But fake love will always cast, and they'll say in my country.
What are you afraid of?
I don't know. I'm really not really scared of much. But like I told you, I love my job so much. Cheers, and I like, there's so much love I get. I'm like, like, for example, like, it's not going to last forever. Nobody's on top forever. Nobody. You can't be number one for the rest of your life. It's impossible. So, I think the only thing I'm really scared of is like, that moment, maybe when I get on stage, people cry, they go crazy. But it's going to get to a point in my career where it's like, it's going to start slowing down. Everybody goes through it. So that's what I'm really scared of, that point. I never want to get there. So that point where I'm like, I always make a joke to my friends. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna retire before I turn sour. You know, some people, there's by force retirement where you have to just give it up. But I want to like retire on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, exactly what you're saying, I was saying to my best friend while we were walking recently. And I was telling him I was also telling Hamid, there's an art to quitting. You know, quitting usually has a negative idea or connotation.
Yeah.
There's a positive side. Knowing when to leave a bad relationship, knowing when to leave on top is an art. For example, I think of Guardiola in Barcelona. When he got all of these titles, he didn't stay. He left. He left on top.
Yes.
And I respect people who know when to leave because their ego is not controlling them.
Because trust me, if there was one thing I could build, I would build a school not a school, like a center for how do I say, like for like people that have been popular and very successful before. A center for them to have like therapy. Because it's crazy being on top of the world and the next moment you're not. Even with soccer, with football, you win all these awards, you win a Champions League, you win World Cup, and people don't still feel like it's enough. Like look at Ronaldo. Do you understand? When he left the World Cup, he's my friend, by the way, he's my very good friend. When we left the World Cup, I remember being on the internet, I'm like, they were abusing him so much after everything he has done. Do you understand? So like, that's my greatest fear. I work too hard for me to come and spoil it with something. So I always ask God, like, God, just tell me the right time to, you know. But I think that's the only thing I'm scared of.
But look, a lot of people, David, see you as successful. But what does success mean to you?
Success to me is not money. To me is the organizations and the lives you've changed around the community. That is success to me. I want to be able to sit down, like when I'm like 40, 50, and maybe just like be on maybe my balcony. I always envision this in my head. So I'm gonna have like this, I'm speaking to existence. Just like I told you, I was gonna blow up. So I'm gonna have big estates, and I can just see me like wearing a nice Versace robe, with, you know, maybe my cognac in my cup, and me just walking to the balcony and looking down. So when I look down, it's a garden with all my friends, my wife, my friends, their kids, the staff, like just having a party. And everybody is successful in their own way. But everything still is connected to Davido. You know, like the start point of everybody. You know, so that's like my dream, like to walk out on my balcony and see everybody successful on the lawn, knowing that all this came from a dream of just me wanting to do music. That's like, I always have that vision, like coming out.
What is something in your life now that you need more than anything?
Love.
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 From who? From wife, family, friends?
My wife does a great job already. Just love around me.
Okay.
Do you understand? Like, for example, like when we were on the jet, two of my workers, they started arguing. I said, come. And this year, I don't have time for all this arguing and fighting. Anybody that wants to be negative and disruptive around me, please pack your load and get out. Because this year, all I want is positivity. Even when there's a problem, I'm okay, calm down. There's a problem, okay, how can we fix it? Can we fix it? Is it possible to fix it? He said, yes, okay, so let's all sit down and calm down and fix the problem, because life is not that hard. Sometimes we make it hard for ourselves.
When was David most disappointed in David?
Oof. I don't know. Probably like when me and my wife like first, we're married now, but like when we like first like had like a little rift, I felt like I could have done better, you know, definitely. Because she's an amazing person, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the only time I was like, damn, you messed up. But I fixed it.
She like that. Okay, I'm gonna ask. This is a new game we did, which is pretty cool because it makes people who are not on the chair
Okay.
at least get to have conversations with their families and with their friends. So we'll just do one. You get it to mix it, and I'll choose one.
Wow, you have your own card.
Yeah, so a lot of the questions you hear here
Okay.
are there. Okay, I'll get the first one only. It's actually one of the questions I was going to ask you.
Okay.
What is something in life that people don't appreciate enough, but they should? Actually, stop. I need to play the game correctly.
Why? What do you
You
mean?
have to throw this on the floor.
Okay.
Throw it there.
What is that?
Be honest. Be super honest.
Okay. What was the question again?
No, where did I go? What is something in life that people don't appreciate enough, yet they should?
I think just oxygen, bro. I'm
Interesting.
telling you, just like being able to just live your life. When I was, taking a break, just being at home, and I was like, yo, we took life for granted so many times. Like even just watching people's snaps, like people just going out to eat with your family. Like you might think, some people go out and they never come back. The fact that people wake up, go out, come back home safe, it's crazy.
100%.
Yeah, so I think life itself, like we take it for granted, being alive. Like, when I was on my break, I was just thinking about life. I was like, so many times, we had good times, but like we were not thankful enough to God. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like oxygen, just being alive, is one thing we take for granted.
That's such a good answer.
Crazy.
One of the best.
I'm telling you.
I was listening to something and they said it's funny that when we're young, let's say in our teenage years, our 20s maybe, we think of the big things. I want this big award. I want to go to this big trip. I want to have this crazy love, etc. Like big things,
Yes.
right? And the older you get, you appreciate the smaller things more. Eating with your family, laughing at a movie, carrying a kid.
You know my dad's best thing to do these days? Every Sunday, all the grandkids go to his house. He's so happy when he's with his grandchildren. That is his happiness. Forget the billions he has, the jets, the yachts. When he's with his grandchildren, seeing them play. So we have to appreciate every single little thing.
I agree, man. Daughters are Aurora and Haley.
Yes, Imade, Aurora, and Haley.
Imade is the first one?
Yeah, Imade, then her middle name is Aurora, but Imade and Haley.
Okay.
So I named, this them right here, too.
I like
So
that.
I named them after my mom. So my mom's name is, so Haley's middle name is Veronica.
Okay.
Yes, and then Imade is my mom's middle name.
Nice.
So I named both of them after my mom. And Haley she's the exact replica of my mom, my second daughter. Looks just like my mom.
Imagine. Huh?
Crazy. It's like she came in her. That was crazy.
If your daughters in...
I have a son too.
Oh.
Like Ifeanyi has a little brother.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, he's in London right now.
Name?
Dawson.
Dawson. Okay, so we have Dawson, we have Aurora, or
Imade.
Imade,
Haley.
and Haley. So if all of them in 30 years,
Yeah.
or 40, maybe when me and you are gone,
Yeah.
and they go on YouTube, and they click on this interview, and they're going through any kind, tough times, good times, whatever, life. What would you want to say here that they will play it then?
I feel like for them, especially because they have my blood and my DNA, so I already know that they are strong. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like God doesn't give you what you can't handle. It's up to you. I had to make a choice. I had to sit down and look at myself in the mirror and make a choice and be like, am I going to break myself or am I going to stand strong and fight this weather? So I had to make a choice. You have to make that choice. And I feel like they're my kids, they're my DNA. So I know that they're going to be strong-minded. And like I said, God will never give you something you can't handle. Ever.
If you had to summarize your dad in one word, what word would it be?
My dad. I say different.
Different.
He's a different kind of guy.
He's an interesting man.
Very interesting man though.
Yeah.
Imagine having $1 billion and you drive a Honda Accord.
I
I
respect.
didn't know we were rich till I was 13.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the first house we lived in, we stayed in like a bungalow. So there was something happened in Nigeria. It was like a, not earthquake, like there was like a bomb blast, like some bombs went off, so it messed up the house. So my dad has been building our new house that we're moving to. We're going to move in like the next year. But I didn't even know I didn't know we were building a new house. In the house, we had like 2 Hondas. I think my mom had like a Lexus. That was like the most. So I knew like we were okay, but I didn't think like
Rich.
because so like money's never finishing rich type thing. So we moved. I remember when we moved to the house, bro. I said, what? Yo, I was like, yo, we lit. So I didn't even like know like we had money. That shows you how like humble and modest my dad is.
It's nice. If David, you had the blessing of in a long, healthy life, we say inshallah, so God willing, and you had the blessing of being on your bed with all your loved ones, your kids, your wife, your family, your friends, like people you love. You can imagine them. And you have a good imagination, so do that. And you had the privilege of saying your last words. What do you think you want to tell them?
See you on the other side. I don't know. Probably I love you, man. What else do you want to say?
It's your choice.
It's probably like just I love you, man. Everybody just. I feel like, how do I say? I feel like I'm the glue.
You are. I don't feel. I can see already from when I met you.
I feel like I'm the glue, especially like with a lot of people that I've brought together. Like even with people that you saw today, they all come from different worlds, but obviously they've come together because they all work for me. So I'll probably be like, yo, just because I'm okay, not my last word, but last words. Just because I'm gone, I still want you guys to keep that, synergy. Not that I'll go down, everybody will start fighting for money and different differences.
Yes.
So that's probably like what I'll tell them.
Okay. Last question. David in one word.
I told you I'm special. Special. That was good.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
I was actually in a rush, so for me to calm down and do the interview.